Hey everyone. Yes, I'm outside again today. It's amazing. It's actually the first, well, yesterday was sunny and beautiful too. It's the second day in weeks where we actually have full sun. It really has been dreary here the last several weeks in Pennsylvania, just cloudy. And to be quite honest with you, when it's like that, I just don't want to be outside. So I haven't been out here actually doing much of anything. But it looks like we're going to have some really warm, sunny weather all week. And as a matter of fact, this coming Saturday, they're saying it might hit 60. So all week, I feel like it's going to be an opportunity to go around, pick up sticks, do some general cleanups. We have a lot of mulch that ran over the winter and all those heavy rains. Maybe some mulch could be cleaned up. I know we did not finish cleaning up our perennials in the fall. Just because we didn't. Some of them you should leave standing in the fall, like the agastaki. Some, like some of the perennials up in the rain garden, the top rain garden, we just didn't feel like cutting back. So I think this week would be a perfect opportunity to do that, so that we don't have to do it in, say, late March or April when we're trying to create new beds, transplant shrubs, plant trees, and all that stuff. So come garden with me and let's take a look at the garden, see what we can clean up, and prepare for spring. So one really exciting thing other than the weather is all of the bulbs coming up. You can see we've got bulbs, daffodils and hyacinths coming up here. Thought there was more all up and through here too, but not seeing any. You know, sometimes bulbs don't last. Also have more bulbs. I think I showed these in a previous video. It's still kind of wet out here, so I think I'm gonna give it a couple more days to dry out before I start doing anything. The daffodils here have really thickened up. Got them, got those there. I really need to come out here with a some cloches and cover these pots, because as you can see, my pumpkin spice heucherella is getting eaten by something. So have the pansies. I'm guessing it's probably rabbits, but you know, it could be deer, who knows. More bulbs back there. More bulbs here. So those are really thickening up and getting taller from where they were last time I was out here. I feel like one of the things that I want to do is cut back. I want to size control a lot of shrubs before they start breaking dormancy, and these endless summer twist and shout hydrangeas are going to be one of those shrubs. Now they are early bloomers, they are rebloomers. If I cut them really far back, like if I do a hard prune, I will be sacrificing the earlier blooms, but I really do think that they need to be size controlled here. Something else that needs to be size controlled a little bit are these Kodiak orange Durvilla. I see buds on there, but again, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I feel like I want to cut these really far back. We may even want to rearrange these a bit. I'm not 100% sure. Just kind of thinking out loud, because these 4 panicum grasses are going to be coming out. You know, maybe we move the Durvilla back to where the panicum grasses are here. That's not a huge priority. Again, just thinking out loud. The blue lobelia they're semi-evergreen, so I still see some green down there. The stackies are semi-evergreen as well. See some green down there, some green down there. Just looking for anything else. We have vervain up here too. I don't know exactly when that breaks dormancy, but I'm hoping they come back. Not seeing anything as far as vervain goes. I did plant some more of that here. I think it was late fall. They were just sticks. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of a little bit of shade being thrown right there. So we'll see how those do. But see, here's some of the perennials I'm talking about. Coreopsis we didn't clean up. We have Heliopsis here we didn't clean up. So that's some of the stuff I think we can get tackled so that we don't have to wait. There's also some weeds that need to be pulled already. I can get out here with some preen maybe too. Put that down early. Maybe put some Bear 3-in-1 down on the roses. Rose, I only have one rose. There's some phlox in there too that we didn't cut back. I do feel like I want to move these too. I feel like there's a lot of shrubs that I want to try coppicing as well. I think this chaste tree might be one of those, and some of the redwood dogwoods, and I'll take a walk and show you those out front. So I think all I'm going to do today, because the ground is still a little bit wet, is just go around with my trusty weed hoe, rake up some weeds up there, and I'm going to put them in my bucket. I am a great one for just pulling weeds and then just leaving them, and my husband does that too. He does it even more and it drives me nuts, but I'm going to show you why that's not a good idea. Over here, I pulled this bunch, no, this is not a weed, it's a bunch of grass, but I pulled that bunch of grass a couple of weeks ago and just left it here, and it's rooted back into the ground. So this time, pulling it up, and we're going to go put it in our trusty bucket. And you can see, I think maybe you can see, I mean, there's still a lot of like standing water right there. It's like almost like a puddle. So again, like I said in one of my previous videos, I don't really want to compact the soil here. Any place where the sun's not hitting it constantly is still pretty squishy. So just going to do a couple things today. I do have some of my cloches, so I'm going to get them and put them in the bucket, and we're going to take them up and cover some things. You can see I have two different kinds. They're both from Gardener Supply. These are the chicken wire cloches, and then I have a couple of forcing cloches. I also use these a lot to just protect plants at this time of the year. They have these little pins that come with them. Stick these in the ground through the holes provided in the cloche. They have like ventilation holes. You can turn these, open the ventilation holes, close them. This time of the year, I guess it really depends on how warm it's getting outside, because you don't want the plants that you're covering to fry. These are mini greenhouses and they can get quite warm underneath them. So be careful when using them. These are going to go up and cover the sweet tea heucherella that I had mentioned in a previous video. All the way up there. Zoom in a little bit close to our sitting area there. We have some sweet tea heucherella. I had just taken the cloches off, these chicken wire cloches, and I came back, I guess that was in late November, early December. Came back just a few weeks ago to look at what was going on up there, and all of the sweet tea heucherella were eaten, so we're going to cover them up again. But I got everything now, so let's take a walk up to the second retaining wall bed. So this is what I'm going to be using the forcing cloches to cover. Hopefully they fit. I do have bigger ones in the basement, but it was very difficult for me to determine which size I needed. So let's see if these small ones are going to fit. I might need to go back and get the bigger ones. I'll see. Yeah. Yeah, those are not going to fit, so In the meantime, let's take these metal cloches up to the top of the property. I apologize if this video is not filming very good today. The bright sun really does make it very difficult for me to see the screen, even with sunglasses on. And I had issues just this morning with the gimbal trying to get it to work. So again, I apologize if this video is a little shaky or a little off, but here we are. So you can see these poor things have suffered the same fate. So we're just going to go around, cover them. I'm not going to clip these ones into the ground. I have landscape staples that I could use, but these stay in place pretty well, so I think they'll be okay. Let's see how that looks. So there they are, nice and covered with their cloches. I think they're a little bit off, but I think I got all of them where they needed to be. See, these really do come in handy. I use them all the time to protect my plants. All right, so I think actually what I'm going to do is go get my rake, which I also have. While my husband was trying to fix my gimbal, I did take the opportunity to do a little bit of raking and clean up out front, but I think I'm going to come out, try to rake some of this mulch back into the bed. You can see we have some landscape fabric showing, and I feel like actually I want to straighten this out because I don't like looking at this thing from the house. You can see I think you can see it's just not standing up straight, so I feel like I want to straighten that a little bit. Lots of insect activity active under here. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. At least it's not leaning forward. You can see I have more cloches on this side protecting what will be the spring blooming phlox. Even though I don't think these ones are stapled in, and you can see they stay. Even this one on a slope, it's staying in there pretty well. These red twig dogwoods really look pretty. I guess it's still kind of hard to see with that sun. There you go. Very pretty. There's one there and there's a smaller one there. They were both the same size when we planted them, but again, deer size control a lot of the stuff in my yard, unfortunately. I did have an idea. You know, I'm kind of all over the place today. I'm just happy to get outside. I did have an idea of moving these 3 Arctic sun dogwoods. I don't know, on the berm of this rain garden, I think I'd rather have something a little more substantial, even if it's not going to be evergreen. But I thought about moving them up here in front of this fallen log. We'll still be able to see the twigs. I feel like we might even be able to see them better from up here because it's just, they'll be against this dark log, and I feel like we need something in here. Obviously this is all still an area of the garden that is in transition, but we have 2 maple leaf viburnums and then a native honeysuckle right up against the log, but I feel like in here we need something. There's a lot of open space in here, and my feeling is that those 3 Arctic sun dogwoods would be better, I don't know, maybe here or up there. I also thought I'd like to do something evergreen here. I mean, we could certainly do both. There's plenty of room. And then we have the 2 blue point junipers and the male holly here. I still feel like we need something evergreen up here. At least. So anyway, that's just me rambling, getting my thoughts together for more stuff that we need to do in the spring. Like we need more stuff to do. I talked about it already in the video that I did in the fall planting this Royal Raindrops crabapple. I feel like we need 2 evergreens behind it. I thought maybe a couple of green giant arbs, maybe just 1 cryptomeria radicans. Then I also thought some maybe evergreen viburnums scattered right around there. So I don't know, those are still some more things that I'm thinking about for the fall, for the spring or summer. I mean, there's only so much we can do in one season. But let me go get some bigger cloches to cover these pots. So here are the bigger cloches. Definitely much bigger than the smaller ones. I brought 2. I brought the other ones up back to my basement, and I should have kept them out because I just saw a couple of other things I could have used them for. So that's how they're going to fit. Wondering if I should actually pull that cabbage, but I think it'll be okay for now. So let's put a couple of these pins in. Each cloche has 3 holes for these little pins. I actually find that landscape staples work better. These pins don't hold up well against wind, but I don't think I'd be able to get landscape staples. I might in this pot. Hopefully. See how they just pop right out, but we'll see how they do. At least they'll protect, I hope, the pumpkin spice heucherella, so they can leaf out a little bit better and won't get eaten again. And I did do a bunch of weeding and cleanup. I didn't show that because honestly, I don't know if anybody really wants to see other gardeners weed. I just went through and pulled some creeping Charlie. That stuff is the bane of my existence, and some other weeds over there, inside and outside the fence. And another reason why I didn't show it is because the creeping Charlie does not originate on our property, and you probably didn't want to hear my bad language. I think this spring we will be finding, you see that I'm putting that clip pin right in that hole. Not holding very well. I'm going to fiddle with that, but I think this spring we'll be finding an herbicide for creeping Charlie because we have so much of it we need to take care of. Let me open the ventilation holes on here because I don't want anything frying. I don't think in this 50 degrees, it's going to get 50 degrees in the next few days, but it's still pretty cold at night, so I think the plants in there will be okay. I missed a weed. Let's just hand pull that one. I don't know what these weeds are, but they are very ubiquitous. I don't have gloves either. My hands are getting all dirty. Gardeners love dirty hands, right? All right, so I'm going to put my trash in the garage and show you the red twig dogwoods out front and what I mean by coppicing. I'm not actually going to coppice them today. I'm zone 7A here. I don't know. I'd rather err on the side of caution and not start cutting anything back too soon. So we will save that for maybe the end of February. I don't want them to start budding out, but I will at least show you what I mean. So these are the two dogwoods that I'm talking about. Coppicing means I am simply going to be taking all of these branches down to within a few inches of the ground. So right down in there is where they're going to get cut. What that will do, it's kind of like a regenerative prune. You saw the write-up I had. And also, it will be much easier to move these in the spring. Yes, these are getting moved. Mainly because this one is not a red twig dogwood. And again, that is a mistake of a landscaper. Does anybody else have this problem with landscapers? They just either don't care what they're doing, or they just want your money and run. Because I had asked a landscaper who did some work for us to provide 2 additional red twig dogwoods, because we already had 3. This is a gray dogwood. Based on my experience working at the nursery that I worked at, you can see how gray, the stems are really, really gray. And I don't have a picture of this when it's in foliage, but based on my experience, what this looks like is a gray dogwood. It has a completely different kind of leaf structure and pattern than the regular dogwood. So anyway, those will both be moving, and I feel like it will be easier to do that once we coppice them. So that's it, guys. That's my random video for today. Hopefully we can start getting out here more often, getting some more stuff cleaned up. I really hope to get some of those grasses transplanted and divided that I talked about, the panicum grasses that are going to be moving, hopefully by the end of February. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to get as much more content up as possible. It's just not a lot going on at this time of the year. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Bye.